There we go. That's much better. So, what are we doing? Why are we here? Well, of course, we're here because you were not able to make the last session for understandable reasons. Um, and I had set something up to happen to your character while you were not actually here. And we're actually going to do that right now. We're going to do what happened to Jaqspur. So,
what happened?
What happened?
What happened, Jaqspur?
What happened on Jaqspur? So, to pick it up...
Oh, shit. I gotta make sure I'm not echoing on there. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, to pick it up, you were about to engage in the fight with the ogres, and something happened, and you shouted something out to the group, and you completely disappeared, as did Seymour. So we're going to pick up from that point. You should now be on the correct map. What happens is you are calling out something. What is it you called out? Like, what is it that you shouted out to the group? Can you tell us?
What was the exact moment that... What was the exact thing that happened right before?
The fight was just about to kick off.
All right, let's go.
So you say to yourself, all right, let's go. And then, before you know it, you are sent hurtling through time and space, and then you fall to the floor. A force just pulls you down, and you hit right on the floor. You don't actually take any damage. It hurts, but you don't take any damage. It's very much not pleasant. But you hit the ground. You see that it's cold, and you do kind of recognize the kind of floor. You've been here before, a few times probably in your lifetime, but this time you were pulled right in the middle of a battle. This probably hasn't happened to you before. You've probably not been pulled in, right in the middle of a fight, but this time you have. You now have free will to move. What you see around you is exactly what you see. So you are in the Seeker's Library, an area known to you. You're in a part of it you don't quite recognize, but then again, it's all a giant library, and it's sometimes very hard to keep track of a giant library like this. But sure enough, in front of you, standing around 15 to 20 feet tall, you see your god, rather ominous-looking figure to anyone that doesn't actually understand them or hasn't actually spent some time with them. But you see a gigantic cloaked individual, very pale when you can see through the cloak. They have multiple arms. They don't appear to have any eyes. But you do see that around them, there are a series of comically large books open on pedestals. And they appear to be somehow reading each one of these books at the same time. Every now and then they turn a page on one, then there are multiple limbs turn and the page of another, and then they turn all the way around to the one at the back, and they turn the page of that as well. But they seem to somehow be taking in everything that is that is being read. They are taking it in, even though you can't see them having eyes. What do you do after being thrown through the universe and slamming onto the floor of the library? What do you do?
He very comically places places his hand on the back of his neck and peels it off the floor.
That's good. I like it.
Sometimes when I come here, I'm like, man, I hate the part where I get flung in here, and half the time I'm like, that's my favorite part, man.
Well, like I've said to you before, trans-dimensional teleportation is not easy. If I don't bring you here at these speeds, you'll discombobulate into atoms, so...
Yeah, I know, it's very important, and that would not be very good for me to discombobulate into atoms. I like my atoms being in one place. Thank you very much.
Yes, trust me, you like all of your atoms being in place, and I tell you very much that you wouldn't like any of your atoms not being in place.
You say that like it's from experience, which is fair.
Oh yes, several times.
Wait. Crap. Wait, I was kind of in the middle of something.
Oh yes, no,
Oh.
I'm aware. I'm aware. Don't worry about that. I'm monitoring the situation. It'll be fine. I'm sure.
Are they okay? Are they like I know time's a little weird from here to there, but
I mean, depending on how things play out, they've already won, or they're all dead.
oh, I mean, you're not that good at pep talks. Has anyone ever told you that?
Well, what would be will be. The future is only me to see. I think that's how it goes, right?
Well, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Anyway, how are you
Suppose
doing?
suppose it would be too much to ask to be sent back to the moment I left. I imagine that's how it works.
Yes, not. I mean, I could try, but I could end up sending you back when you left, or I could send you back before you were born. So
Let's just roll sequentially in that
yeah,
case.
It's far easier for me to do that, honestly. Anyway, how are you?
I'm feeling all right. Oh, have you gotten some new books since I was here?
Yes, plenty of new books.
Oh,
Always coming in, sometimes going out, sometimes coming back, sometimes not.
I apologize. I don't quite have anything to add at this exact moment. I hope to have something maybe next time. It's been. Oh, well, actually, I guess I do have a couple things. I don't know if it's enough to write a book about, but it's more things maybe I could ask you for information about. Where is Seymour? Oh, he's behind me. Oh, hello, buddy.
See, that's wonderful and all, and we'll get to that. But obviously, there's generally a reason that I bring you to this place. I don't just bring you in for a chat and tea.
That's a good point, especially when we were about to start fighting. It must have been pretty important.
Yeah, I don't generally like to pull people out of possible life or death situations unless it's needed. So yes. Hold on. Let me just let me grab my bookmarks. And you see hands reach out for several bookmarks. Some of which are just normal casual bookmarks. Some are like ribbons, and one or two are like the bookmarks that a child would have. He places them all into several pages of the books, and then closes them all shut. And he goes, "Okay, right, you have my my full attention now." Okay, right. So,
All right.
I have called you here because, how do I put this? I'll guess the best way is ripping off the limb so that you can put the Band-Aid on.
Okay.
Something rather troublesome has happened. Something that, honestly, it hasn't happened in quite some time, and even then it was very rare. A librarian has gone rogue.
Oh no.
Yes, it's not ideal under any circumstances, especially not right now. But
especially not right now.
Yes, especially not right now. The details I can provide as much information as I'm aware. A member of my order, the librarians of myself, the Seeker, has decided to take it upon themselves to remove themselves from this facility, remove themselves from my contact, but before doing so, go on.
No, I was just remarking. Go ahead.
Before doing so, has decided to take several very valuable editions of my collection and
He stole books?
yes, it's not. You can see there's a reason that I called you here.
That is bad.
This individual has decided to not only become a rogue, but in doing so steal several editions and remove some very key pages from our editions.
So he took entire books, but in other cases he just ripped some pages out.
Yes.
Can you tell me which pages so that I can maybe help tidy this up a little neater, or could you give me like a general thing?
I can provide you with the names of the free books that the individual pulled pages from.
Okay.
You may want to get a pen or a quill
Or a digital notepad.
or a typewriter. Wait, no.
Seymour, can I write on your back?
Wait, no. Typewriters don't exist yet. I must remember timelines.
What's that? Wait, what's that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Don't want spoilers.
No, you'll get it before phones, and then don't worry about it. I mean, I have some. Hold on. He reaches down, and underneath in the kind of plinth that the books are standing on, he has some spare note paper, and he'll rip off a page and take out an ink quill and hand it to you. Hand it to you and go, here you go.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, tell me when you're ready.
I am ready to write. Seymour, trip your back up a little bit. And he kind of raises, he slants a bit.
Okay. So the books themselves that were stolen were The Idiot's Guide to Apocalypses.
Oh, wait, that seems like a bad one.
Yeah, it's not a good one to steal.
Oh no.
So, you got that?
Okay, I got that one. I got that.
Okay, so you've got The Idiot's Guide to Apocalypses.
I put 4 instead of 2, but let me just scribble that out. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yes, The Idiot's Guide to 2, not 4.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that might be a different one. I don't want to get confused.
Wars of Pre-Time.
Wars of... Oh, I feel like these things might be related!
Yeah, you think?
Oh no, this is not good. I'm really scared of the third one now.
And the third book that was stolen was how do I
spit it out. This tension's awful.
You may want to brace yourself on this one.
I thought the first 2 were pretty bad. Is this going?
Oh, my dear boy. Okay. How will I? Okay. Are you prepared? Because I don't know if you're.
My butthole is clenched. Let's go.
It is the Encyclopedia of the Births and Deaths of all Furbolgs.
What? Wait a minute. Is this a race thing?
Maybe.
Oh no! Let me get the exact wording on that right.
So the Encyclopedia of Births and Deaths of all Furbolgs.
Oh, okay. Now you were right. I wasn't ready for it to be about me.
Yeah, I didn't think you were ready for that one.
How many other Furbolgs do you have in your
You are smart boy. You've read some of my books. You understand what a changeling is, correct?
I'm sure he does as I go to D&D Wiki.
Yeah, you can look it up if you want. Basically, a changeling is an individual that can change their appearance.
Oh, this could be a problem.
Yeah.
These Doppler motherfuckers.
Yeah. So we'll say that you understand the very basics of what a changeling is.
Yeah.
And he will say that you see, because of that, finding them will be a tad difficult.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Is there a form that they like to keep? I need to imagine that won't help me much, though.
I mean, the last time I saw them, they came in the guise of a blonde-haired woman from Earth circa 2014 by the name of Mercy, but I don't know what they look like after that.
Oh, are they generally a woman?
No, they've changed. Sometimes they came in the guise of a man. Sometimes they came in the guise of a woman. Sometimes they came in the guise of a genderless being. That you can see why of all the people in my employ, to go rogue, this is possibly one of the worst.
As you know, I am not a judgmental person, with the exception of the part where they possibly want to exterminate me. That part I'm not so much up on.
That part is very understandably judgeable.
Yes. Yeah. Oh boy.
But that's the books that they stole. They pulled out 3 pages.
The last one is the one they stole pages out of, not the whole thing.
No, they stole the whole thing.
Okay, got it.
Those were those, my dear, those were the books that they stole. The Idiot's Guide to Apocalypse, Wars of Pre-Time, and Encyclopedia of Births and Deaths of all Furbolgs.
1 and 2 seem pretty easy to figure out where it's going, and like the apocalypse, end of the world, start to change, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to the last one, it's like, wait, hold on, this feels kind of personal. I don't know how I feel about this.
Becomes oddly specific, doesn't it?
Yeah, which brings me to my other question, which is, I'm not familiar with your entire list of librarians. And I'm the only Furbolg.
Mm-hmm.
Were they aware of me?
Not to my knowledge. I never informed them of your existence. You two never entered the library at the same time. So you can see how it's a bit troublesome that they may be aware of your existence.
Yeah, so it's not the thing that's targeted to me. It could just be...
No, it very much seems like it could be targeted to you.
Well, I'm on rent if they're not aware that I was here, but maybe they were somehow, I don't know. Is there anything that happens when I come here, that things that someone could use to figure out that someone like me was here? Or why would someone hold a grudge against me?
I mean, all beings...
Actually, people were kind of racist against me a little while back, so I guess I understand that.
I mean, all beings technically leave like an arcane footprint wherever they go.
I can see that. Why target Furbolgs? Or even me? What have I done?
Well, this is for you to get to the bottom of. I'm afraid I don't have an idea of what it could be. Are you ready for the books that a page was removed from?
I will get back out my notepad and see more. All right, buddy, let's go.
So 2 pages were removed from the book of the title, "The Annals of the Drelek War."
Okay, the Annals of the Drelek War. Got it.
And a single page seemed to have been taken from Lof's Book of Spiders. It's a bit concerning.
I don't... Okay, yeah, you're right. Wait, I had some bad experiences with spiders that went a bit back.
Oh, yes, I saw that. That was rather nasty.
Oh, you saw that? Oh, that's so embarrassing.
I believe some people would describe it as ate shit.
Yes, but, it could also be said that some people didn't do a good job of picking me up.
That's true.
Stares into frame.
That's true.
Back.
Your companions are interesting, to say the least.
Oh, you got that right.
But yes, my boy, that's what I require you to look for. I require you to look for the missing books of The Idiot's Guide to Apocalypses, Wars of Pre-Time, the Encyclopedia of Births and Deaths of all Furbolgs, and look for the missing pages of the Annals of the Drelek War and Lof's Book of Spiders.
In those last 2, I mean, you obviously checked the books to see which ones were missing. What were the specific chapters that they were taken out of about?
Well, the Lof book seemed to be, according to the contents page, it seemed to be the page about Lof's champion spiders.
Huh. Hopefully it's not the ones that look like skulls. Because then it's going to seem real targeted, gotta tell ya.
Well, I mean, those weren't a spider of Lof. That was a bone spider. That's a creature that exists because of the dead. But I can see
No,
what you
I more mean I hope that's not the page that was taken, because then this is starting to seem real suspicious.
No, I told you, my boy. It's the page regarding the champion spiders of law.
Oh, okay, okay, not quite as targeted then.
No.
That's good.
No.
Okay. Well, that is certainly a lot.
In regards to the other book, there is no contents page for it. It's a retelling of the events of the Dreyleg War, but it's a page near the end that seems to depict some form of alliance being forged.
Okay. What was the page right before it about? Maybe I can piece something together.
Well, I just told you it was the several groups meeting.
Oh, sorry. No, I get what you mean now. For some reason, I thought you meant that you knew what was on each page. Now I understand.
No, it
This
was a book.
this is a lot. This is a
time.
lot for me. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. Take it in.
Okay. 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 Are there any other major points you wanted to hit?
No. That seems about it. Obviously, I can send you back now. If there's anything you require from me, I can try and help you as best I can.
I actually think, well, despite I know time is kind of weird in here, and I probably could make it back before the fighting is over if I left now. But as long as I'm here, you said you've been paying attention to what's been going on with us.
Some bits. I mean, I'm afraid there was some point where you were gone somewhere for a few days, and something was blocking my vision from seeing it. You are underground, or in a cave, or in a mountain?
Oh, that was the tomb. And then I tell him about the tomb real quick.
That makes sense. If it did an area of that level of necromantic ability and a dreadlord being able to be there, he has probably managed to seal the place off from my views, probably any god's views. If he's able to prevent me from seeing in there, that would make sense.
Hopefully, if I get to know him well enough, and he's still, if he keeps being cool about things, maybe I can try and learn some things and bring some of that back here. He probably knows some things, so might be useful. I do have to ask though.
Go on.
I meant to bring it up last time, mainly when you contacted me in the mirror, but it was very sudden, so I ended up forgetting. It appears, because long as I'm here, I might as well get it out there and see if you know anything. It appears me and my new companions may have been embroiled in some kind of prophecy. I will endeavor to make sure that I keep the assignment that you have just given me in mind, but it seems like I have a couple things I need to juggle right now. So I was wondering if you had any information on something called the Golden Dragon, something called the Wounded Raven, and what was the last one?
That was it. I mean, you could look for information about Fortuna herself or Fortuna's prophecies, but the book is depicting you just to those two individuals so far.
Why did I think it was 3? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. And maybe a little bit about someone named Fortuna who seems to have written this prophecy. I wonder if do any of those strike a chord with you? I'll look around either way, but is any of that ringing any bells?
You see several of his hands go onto his chin to scratch it, and he thinks for a second, and he goes, "Well, I'm aware of Fortuna herself. She was an elder god, a god that possibly came before the rest of us. The idea of timelines of the gods is very hazy when you understand that most of us exist in and out of time based on belief. And I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I'm aware of her. She was an elder god, could see through the veils of time and space.
Do we know why she was given such an ability, or is this just one of those born with it kind of things?
Well, yes, just like I am innately born with the ability to enhance and take in any information that I seek. They were naturally created, birthed by the universe itself, with an understanding of what would be, could be, and won't be. It's very much a curse as much as a gift.
I can see why that would be a problem, knowing too much. Bit of an inverse thing to you, actually.
I mean, I kind of have a similar ability. I can see some things that are happening, and in that moment I can see a brief glimpse of possible outcomes. But Fortuna's ability was far beyond that. She could see every single outcome of every single timeline all at once. So, for example, what if there was a timeline where you didn't fall on the floor, but you fell into one of the books and broke your neck? Or what if there was a timeline where you didn't materialize correctly here and died? She would see.
Oh no!
She would see those timelines and the impact that it had on the entire universe, and every single decision after that. And obviously, because of seeing every decision after that, there are then billions of other alternatives. You understand what I'm saying?
Under his breath, I wonder if there's a timeline where Dar is just normal.
And he looks at you and goes, sorry, what was that?
Oh, no, nothing, don't worry about it.
Oh,
okay. Well, that's interesting. Anything about this golden dragon or this wounded raven?
He looks at the library and he goes, do you... You get that golden dragons are a type of dragon, correct?
Well, yes, but I wonder if there is a specific one that might pique your interest that this prophecy could be about.
There are about 1,000 specific ones that I can think of off the top of my head. No, wait.
Yeah,
2,000.
I guess you're right. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
And wounded ravens would appear multiple times in different books for different reasons. I mean, is it an actual raven? Is it someone called Raven? Is it someone that has the moniker of Raven?
Oh, you're right. This is gonna get confusing.
It's a bit hard to specifically point out any information with such little relative information. Where are you getting this from, if I may ask?
I believe we're getting it from this prophet. Do I have it on me?
Who was the last person to have the book?
That's a good question. I don't know if it was me, but let me take a look. If that's in my thing.
Check if it's in your inventory.
Let's see. Let's open this up. Oh, I do.
Okay, so you would have it on you when you transported it?
Yeah, Fortuna's Tome.
Yeah.
There we go. I got it from, and I pull it out from this, and I kind of gently toss it over to him, knowing that he will have more than enough hands to catch it.
He easily catches it. He looks at it. It's very, very comically small in his gigantic hands. He opens up the book and he looks and goes, this is interesting. The pages themselves I see. And
some of the other pages were unfilled in, but I could sense that they were a little magical, and there might be something going on where maybe as events progress, we are allowed to see them.
Yeah, he nods. He goes, yes. What this is, my dear Jaqspur, this is a living being. This is not a book.
Oh, I guess that would explain that.
How do I put this? It is a living being that feeds off possibilities.
So I don't have to feed him or anything like that.
No,
he's cool.
No, you don't have to feed.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
He literally does the face that is being seen there. Like what? And then
that's really impressive because that's always his face.
Yeah. And then he'll go, no. It's sorry. So it is an artifact that has been given life itself. It is not sentient. There is a difference between life and sentient life.
This was the distinction.
But it is able to change depending on the individual that reads it. For example, when you read it, what language does it read? What language do the letters appear to you in?
Was it common?
No, it wasn't.
It was actually Firbolg.
Yes, it was.
It appears to me in my people's language, actually. But I don't believe it was the case for everyone else.
No, it probably wasn't. Anyone that touches this book will most likely see it in a different language. For example, when I see it, it is in a language of primordial, because that's what I've been reading a lot lately, is tomes written in primordial. So it probably reads my own consciousness and understands what I'm, at this point in time, most easy to read for me. And then it changes the text to match what I am able to read in that time with the most ease. Looking at
out of curiosity, what language does it appear to you in? Because I know you know a lot of them, so I wonder which one.
I just said, my boy, it appears in primordial to me at the moment.
Primordial, okay. He said that. Okay, got that.
It's appearing in primordial because the books
Jaqspur has as much ADD as I do.
It's fine. He re-explains himself and says, it appears in primordial because the books I've been reading lately, and he gestures to the books are written in primordial. So the book itself registers that I have been reading primordial, and it thinks, well, what is the easiest way for this person to read what I have inside on my text? It thinks about what I've been reading, and it thinks that I must know primordial because I've been reading primordial, and then adjusts for my ease. It's really quite polite when you think about it.
Huh, yeah, I guess it is. How thoughtful.
Exactly. Whoever made this item, perhaps Fortuna herself, made it very polite and made it that the individuals that should be able to get a hold of this should be able to read it with the utmost ease.
It's pretty thoughtful when you put it that way. Huh.
Now, I'm reading what you're saying, and I'm guessing that you are trying to find the individuals mentioned in this tome, and that's why you are inquiring as if I'm aware of them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you would know exactly anything, but I also figured even if you weren't, I could maybe peruse the books for a while and, figure out what's going on. Maybe see if I can find anything.
Yes, by all means, you may take your time and look to see if there's anything that might work. And he looks around the room and he goes, based on where we are, where would the section most relevant to Fortuna be? And he points towards this bookcase here, and he goes, if you look in there, that I know for a fact there are some books in there about the older gods, the possible primogenitor gods. There may be something in there in regards to prophecies in general. Perhaps try checking over there. Those are the best places. Again, if I was to point to every single place where there would be a golden dragon mentioned.
Of course. Yeah. So to be clear, we're talking about this one and that one.
Yes.
Okay. Where would I find the cases that were home to the books that have been stolen? Maybe I can find some sort of clue.
Well, you see, the area of the library that these books were taken from is
the restricted section.
It's a very, very highly restricted section.
Does that include for a situation where might be able to learn something and solve the problem?
Well,
I understand. It's just if there was ever a time.
Well, Jaqspur, let me ask you this: how would you feel about accidentally looking at a book and then growing billions of eyes in your face?
I mean, you say that like I would think it's a bad thing.
Okay, new question. What if you looked at a book and your hands exploded?
Okay, that one's a little more serious. That one's harder to work with.
Yeah, maybe don't go in that section.
Okay. I assume you checked the section.
Yes.
Did you find anything strange other than the fact that they were taken? Anything left behind? Any indication of, anything really.
When the individual took it, I noticed the only thing that was very key was that they tidied up after themselves. It was almost like they couldn't help it.
Yeah. And obviously this is someone who made it out okay without any hand exploding or millions of eyes.
Oh yes, they are indeed a librarian above your level.
Okay.
I believe, bear with me 2 seconds. He looks to the side and you see he picks up a single sheet of paper. Can't quite see what is written on it. He goes, according to this, you are currently level 6 librarian.
Oh. What level are they?
I don't have their sheet to hand.
Oh, okay. How many levels are there?
Well, there's normally about 20.
Okay. Still got a ways to go, but that's fine.
Very many.
I like the slow burn.
That's weird.
Well, makes me feel like I earned it more.
That's good.
Yeah.
I see Timor is still with you. Is he doing okay?
I think he's doing all right. Aren't you, buddy? He raises up. He takes the pen, and under the space where I wrote all the other stuff, he just goes, "I'm cool."
Okay. He looks and goes, remarkable. He didn't know how to write last time.
Yeah, I taught him a lot of things.
He must be absorbing knowledge at a fantastic rate. I hope the other ones don't do that. They might start some kind of revolt.
Oh God. Oh, how many other? Trying to remember. I think you told me this last time, but it was a while ago. How many other familiars do you have around here? Because I know, I don't believe they're all crabs.
I mean, do you want me to talk about just the ones that are crabs or all of them?
Just general information. You don't need to go exhaustive on it. Just curious.
Thousands of different beings exist within the library. They just dwell in different locations of the library. I mean, I found Seymour and the rest of the crabs in a wing of the library that I hadn't been to in some years. They must have somehow manifested there and, I guess, bred.
How many places are there still that you haven't seen around here?
Well, I mean, the library has 12,476,302 rooms.
That's a lot.
Yes.
So what you're saying is you're somewhere around 3/4 of that, probably?
A quarter at best.
Oh,
I still have to read every single book in every single room.
That would be quite a time sink.
I don't think I ever explained to you how this place works, did I?
I mean, I got the gist, but if you would like to give me more detail, I'm always looking for it.
These books, they are either found by my seekers, or they poof themselves into existence. The knowledge of all beings somehow dwells within the library. It either creates itself through manifesting as a book, or is a written book, which I send my seekers out to get. If you learn anything in your travels, simply by learning it, a book will be created in the library with that knowledge.
It's really cool when you put it like that. All this stuff just waiting for me to discover it, but I would never have the time to get through all of it in my lifetime.
I mean, when you die, you'll come back here forever, so...
Oh, that's true. When you put it like that, maybe I will.
You probably will.
Need to stop a traitor first, though.
A traitor? Oh, yes.
Got to make sure that I'm around. Got to make sure my end isn't a little premature.
On that point, I would say, if you find the traitor, what you decide to do with them is entirely up to you. I simply wish to have my books back.
If I can bring them back here to answer for it, would you be in favor of this? Are you indifferent? I understand. I'll get the books back, of course, but if you had a choice about me bringing them back so you could ask them about it, would you be all right with that, or do you want me to get that enter myself and just bring it back? Do you have any?
I would rather never they be allowed to set foot in here again. I mean,
That's fair.
they have already somehow, and I, to be honest, do not fully understand, destroyed their card, which prevents them technically from re-entering this place again, but it also prevents me from being able to track their location.
Kind of picks up his card and looks at it. Aren't these things supposed to be like really durable?
Technically, they're supposed to be indestructible, so you can understand why the fact that they have removed or destroyed theirs perplexes even me.
He kind of puts his hand to his chin. He's like, I wonder if if they rather got the knowledge of how to destroy the card from something within the library or something outside of it.
That is a good question. Perhaps they had went into a room that I have not yet entered. Like I said, this individual is able to dwell within restricted areas of the library. So perhaps within one of those restricted areas they found the information to destroy items of such significant power.
How many other librarians are running around out there right now? I know I can obviously tell them if I see a library card unless they've hidden it in some way. But
you'll be able to tell them. As long as their library card exists, they will exude an aura connected to my godliness. And you will be able to tell this simply by looking at them.
Do you think there is a chance that it was more than one person? Or do you think it was just the one? He had no help?
I mean, if it is more than one, we may have a very serious problem on our hands. I mean, I have not found anyone else that has had a destroyed card. I mean, it very well could be that they are working with people outside of the library as well.
I see. Am I the only person that you've told about this, or is there anybody else that is aware?
There is one other single librarian, the one that brought it to my attention, the one who saw that there were books missing and were not registered as being taken out.
What was their name? Could I perhaps count on them to help?
He looks at the list and he pulls a list from the side and he's pressing his fingers down from it and he's just looking over the names a second and he's going, you know what, you look for your books. I will double check and I will see if they are on any particular busy mission at the moment. If they aren't, I will see if I can give them your aid. But just bear with me.
I will go take a look around. Come on, Seymour.
You see that as you walk away, the list unfolds even more, and it like the Santa's list joke where it just rolls along the floor. That just happened.
Rolling it up. All right. I'm going to assume you want me to roll history while I take a look at these?
No, not history. You need to roll investigation to see if you can find a book first.
Okay.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah!
So which one did I say this one was? This was, I
believe this was for...
That's for Fortuna herself. Okay,
yeah.
So you're looking through, and I assume Seymour is actually helping you as well. Perhaps at times... For the
picking up some books.
For the books that even you can't reach, like you see, there are pull-along ladders that you could pull along.
He's on my back, and he's like, yeah.
You put him on top of your head, and he reaches up, and eventually, he drops a book, and you go to pick it down. You go down to pick it up, and you look on the side, and it on the side it says.
Before you do that, when he drops it, I'm just like, oh, clumsy boy, and he smacks me on the head. Hey! That's fair. Anyways, then he goes grab it. If
you look, and you might want to write this one down, on the spine, it says primogenitor gods of fate.
Let's see. How the fuck do you spell that?
I'm dyslexic.
That's a good point. I'll roll with it.
Yeah, however, as long as you could like.
Primogenitor gods of fate.
Primogenitor gods of fate.
Okay. Fortuna related. Okay. Primogenitor Gods of Fate.
Yeah.
I probably don't even need to write this one down. I don't know if it's coming with me. Actually, maybe it will. I'll keep it written.
You can
anyways.
borrow the books as long as you return them, as long as you're registered with your library card. You can take the books out.
Okay.
He just doesn't want you stealing them like the other person did because he didn't follow the proper channels to take it out. They just stole it.
All right. So that's the most relevant book on the shelf.
That is the most relevant book you will find in any of these shelves because you got a crit. That's the most relevant book in any of these shelves that you could find.
This is what we're talking about. All right. So I'm gonna open that up, and I'm going to assume that's.
Can you read Celestial?
Not if I don't cast magic, but I do have comprehend languages.
What you would do is you'd look at it, and you would, because you've done comprehend languages before, you would understand.
Sorry, you cut out a little what?
Sorry, so because you've done comprehend languages before.
Hello?
Hello, can you not hear me?
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you cut out at the beginning of that. Okay. Go ahead.
Right, so because you've done comprehend languages before, you understand that this is celestial, you just cannot read it.
Okay. So, I'm gonna say in this moment. Well, the question is, of course, do I read it now? Do I cast it now and read it, or would I wait on that? I'm going to say, given the time displacement, it would probably be smart to read it now and take advantage of that.
Probably, but bear in mind the time displacement with him moving you out of there. He can't. It's not an exact science for the Seeker to move you out of there, so it could cause problems if you take too long. And this is an entire book.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. We will. I will keep abreast of that, and I will hold on to it for later.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I kind of put that away.
Mm-hmm.
Seymour tries to wrestle it from me, but I kind of give him a minor smack. No. Listen, another time. By the way, we gotta talk about something in a bit. Seymour kind of caught his head. What?
This is a note. As you put the book in your bag, you notice that a little one, like a little glowing one, appears on your library card.
Oh.
You've seen this before, because I imagine at some point in your time with the Seeker, you would have taken a book out. This is like your tracker for how many books you have taken out. So the moment you do that, a little one appears. If you take another book out, the one will change to a 2 and so forth.
Is there a limit?
Yes, the limit is your Seeker Warlock level.
So 6.
So 6 is the maximum that you can take out at the moment.
Oh, you tied it to the actual level.
Yes.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. I thought it was a fun little way of making the levels relevant.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna walk. Oh, well, you know what? Before I go over to that other shelf, Seymour's gonna be walking over there, and I kind of like tap him on the carapace, on the shell. I don't know what you'd call it. And I get his attention. I'm like, by the way, we gotta talk about something. And he kind of cocks his head. He's like, what? And so I kind of walk over in this direction with him, and I kind of sit down against the bookshelf, and I'm like, okay, buddy, I know I'm not really one to talk, but I think we need to talk about Dar. And he starts doing like a clicky thing, like he's gonna snap.
Click, 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 click.
No snap. He looks very sad. I know. You tried last time to get me in trouble with the big guy. And you told him that that you were like forced to do it. I know you were being a little shit, and that's fair. I think I probably earned that, but you know,
Caught
We
crab
do-
noises.
Just like nervous clicking.
Caught out crab noises.
But listen, this is something I've been ruminating on for a bit. Listen, like it or not, we are actually stuck with him, and I know that I did kind of start some of that rivalry when he disrespected, the pursuit of knowledge, which is kind of our whole thing, right? He kind of claps his hand. He kind of like imagine a crab doing an oh snap.
Yeah.
And so, like, here's what I've been thinking lately. It's been getting pretty heavy, right? A team, if that's what we are, is only as strong as its weakest link, right? So, I'm thinking maybe we dial it back a little. I think here's the thing. For all of his many, 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 many. He smacks me. Oh, many flaws. I think he is ultimately perhaps misguided, but I think he is a good person who means to do well. Like you see, we're kind of just like a Larry David. Hey, I know. And to a certain extent, I feel like I need to start believing it too. But like, think of it this way. He obviously does mean well. He's trying his best. He's a complete idiot most of the time. And, I think, he's certainly going to make a lot of mistakes, and he's made a lot of mistakes. But I feel like if no one believes in him, how can he? Right? Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like while I'm not going to suddenly let him off the hook if he does anything really heinous, I mean, I'm just going to assume it's probably been fine since I left, I think everything's probably been alright.
You hear noise from the seeker.
And, I think maybe ultimately, maybe it's going to be difficult, and there may be times when he's going to prove me wrong, but belief in a person doesn't stop when it's convenient. And obviously, I can't let him off the hook forever, right? We both know that. But, if he does something truly heinous, he would have to go. But if we can get him to a place where he can be better, well, maybe we can help with that. Wouldn't it be something if he actually really proved himself, buddy? And Seymour kind of like does like a thinker pose, like a thinker crab. And he's like, imagine like a shrug that's also like, yeah, it's fair. So, I think that's where I'm at with friend, he says in Corey fingers. So yeah, I think maybe we can both give it a try, right? And we'll see where things go. Okay? Seymour's like, okay, all right, and then he gets up, and no more snippy, no more snippy snip. I mean it. Kind of mimes a snippy snip. No,
Stop that.
No, we're done with that. Okay. He kind of mimes like an okay dad. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about. I kind of thought we would do that when we got back to town, but I guess, fate had other ideas. Or perhaps one might even say, looks in the frame, the sun did. Let's head all over to the other shelf. I believe it was this one?
Yeah, as you go over there, the seeker turns his head to you, goes, I think you may want to see what's happening with your comrades.
Oh, was the mission successful? That's what I want to hear. Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Okay. He then turns the big pedestal that you see right in front of you.
Okay.
He turns it to your side, and he flicks one of the pages, and then you see there's an illustration in the book, but the illustration starts moving, and it's an illustration of the group leaving the cave. And you see exactly what happened from the cave, from them leaving the cave onwards. So you would see them coming out. You see Dar first,
Mission accomplished.
and then you see the Insira comes out and is carrying a guard body. And you see.
Oh, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, and it's telling me that I'm talking.
Everything all right? Hello.
Yes, hello. Hello? It's telling me that I'm talking. I'm seeing the bars move.
Discord's crazy. Get back to the start of that sentence.
So
I think it's just Discord doesn't like our person to person, but it's fine with people.
So it's it starts showing them leave the cave, and then you see Insira leave carrying a guard body, and then sure enough you also see, as everyone else leaves, you see that Dar tries to toss Insira to the ground.
Are there like speech bubbles like a comic?
Yes, exactly like a comic. You see whatever they're saying appears in a speech bubble.
Wait, why did he do that? I don't. What?
And then it continues playing. You see their entire discussion that they have play out. You see every single thing that happened as if you were reading it in a comic book, and the illustrations moving. You see
his hands are on his forehead.
You see him try to toss the guard's body off. You see Hera pull the sword out and place it at his.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? 1 second. Yeah. We should restart the call.
Yeah. Let me do that real quick.
Okay, we should be good for a bit.
Yeah. Okay, that was very, very weird.
You stopped at dropping the body.
Yeah, so you see the entire situation play out. You see the bodies be dropped. You see Hera put the sword to his neck. You see you see it in a wide shot. You see Niristine notch an arrow and point it at Dar. You see the entire situation play out exactly. I
leave for like a couple hours.
This hasn't been a couple of hours. This has been like maybe 15-20 minutes.
Oh, it's even worse. How did we get here? I feel like I missed something important.
Hold on. He then placed his one of his first finger, his index finger, on the thing, and he swipes left as if he's getting it to rewind, and you see the entire situation play backwards up until the point where you see them leave the cave, and then as it rewinds even more, it goes
old film projector sound effect going backwards.
Yeah, and it goes really, really fast, and he goes, okay, here is where I think the problem started. Okay. He presses it, it plays. You see, from this point, you see the first troll being killed, and then you see the baby troll jump out of the pile of bones, shout "Mama," and you see the entire events from that point all the way up to the end of the session where the group left.
Why did he grab him? I don't. What? Why would he do that?
I believe he was trying to stop him from hitting the troll, the baby one.
Then he hit the baby with his shield later. Yes. I don't understand.
Yes, I think perhaps you may need to speak to them about this. I don't quite understand myself.
I look directly at him with this almost like very John Krasinski face. like look at the one where he's angled down, just like I don't I.
Yes.
I swear they're more competent than this usually.
I think it's time for you to go.
Oh, I mean, can I just check that one shelf real quick before I do?
Yeah, no. And then before you even get a chance to go and look at the shelf.
Oh wait! What about the other person?
You doesn't even listen to you. You just get.
I'm gone.
Yeah, you just get whooshed out of the library, and you are going to reappear. And I want you to remember what you say when you reappear, because you're going to be reappearing with the group. I'm going to put you into the other map.
I gotta remember what I say when I get back.
You've got to remember what you say when you get back. So you're going to appear. Boop. You're going to appear. Paste. Right here. Just as Hera's about to leave, you're going to appear right in front of her.
Where's that? Where's that spot?
Have you been moved? Hold on. Let me make sure that you... Yeah, you got moved. We're right here.
We're gonna figure out where... Oh, there, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
So you appear right in front of Hera. You fall to the floor.
Ah! Where's the bottom?
You slam to the ground, and she looks... And you see Hera look at you wide-eyed like, the fuck just happened?
Oh, that part's always a little better going in, but it's like the floors in there are like, I don't know, it's like they're softer or something, but the ground's not as good. Oh, God.
Yak? And then
hello, Hera.
She turns around and she goes, Yak's just reappeared. And then it ends. Because that's what we're gonna pick up off from last.
I hope Seymour also comes flying.
Oh yeah,
onto my head.
Yeah. So we'll end with this: she says Yak, and then she turns her head and says to everyone, "Yak's reappeared." And as she says that, then Seymour appears and falls on your head.
Oh God. And the timelines have been reestablished.
Timelines reestablished, reconnected.
Reconnect Kingdom Hearts!
Reconnect Kingdom Hearts. So yes, that's exactly what's happened. You are now aware that there is a changeling, former librarian of the Seeker, warlock of the Seeker, librarian of the Seeker.
Yeah, I didn't even get the name of the contact. Oh shit.
You didn't, but maybe the contact will appear. Maybe the contact will find you. But you are aware that there was now a former librarian, a changeling, that appeared primarily as a blonde human woman called Mercy, but has taken on other forms, who stole the books The Idiot's Guide to Apocalypses, Wars of Pre-Time, and the Encyclopedia of Births and Deaths of all the session, and we'll see how this can affect things, and maybe how the book that you have in your possession may affect things.
We fucking do it. Let's go.
Fucking do it. Let's go. Anyway, thank you for the people that watch this. You probably
time to avoid the genocide.